Everybody, welcome. I'm so excited to be here and share this presentation to you. I'm like looking all over the place because I'm using a new platform. It's called Restream. So I'm trying to make sure I figure out and know what all the parts are doing and making sure that we go live and everything. So, hey, let me start out. Welcome. I'm Lois Wyant. And today and this week, we're going to explore one of the 5 home businesses that I feature in my report. Now, if you've not received my report yet, it is in this Facebook group and it's under the. So make sure you go there. I'm going to go through each one of these over the next. I don't know if we'll get it all done before the end of the year, but I think it's really important for you to know your options and how to get started and what to work with. So, and that's why I wanted to do this. And this particular week, I am network marketing. So it's kind of clarified. So network marketing or direct selling is a model in which products or services are distributed to potential customers through a network or independent representatives, distributors. And these distributors not only sell products directly to customers, but they have the opportunity to build their own sales team in which they can earn some commission off of their sales teams, as well as the sales that they themselves generate. And typically, these members of their sales teams are called a downline. So, a little bit of the jargon there just to let you know. So, network marketing often offers participants the potentials of leveraging their income and the ability to build a flexible business in terms of time and effort. One of my favorite parts about the network marketing is that I'm not restricted by hours, like, okay, I've got to work 9 to 3 or 9 to 1 or whatever. It's just, if my husband and I decide to go to Brown County like we did on Friday just to see how the fall colors were, I'm not I'm not tied to my computer where, oh, no, I can't do that today because I have to work. So I love the flexibility. That's one of my favorite parts. And the fact that I get to travel or I can travel and still work. So it's characterized by emphasis of building and expanding a network of distributors or team to increase earnings. So in my particular company, they suggest the goal is to get 3 people under you who are also team builders. And basically, that kind of like puts you in a position where it kind of gets pretty easy. So, but as I was thinking of this, it came to mind that there are other types of businesses with a similar process to this. All right. Um, and basically, it's this that involves selling. Okay. So my dad was a salesman all his life, but there was a big difference. For example, he worked for a company, he worked for a company that sold copiers. And so there was a main corporate office, there was a regional office, and then there was a local office. Obviously, he worked at the local office. Excuse me. I have my water here because it's wintertime. I'm dealing with dry throat. All right, sorry about that. Um, okay, so but the differences was that my dad he received commission on that, but he could not build like his own team. It was restricted in that he only work for the company as managers. So he could not build his team and get more people out there, and he was restricted to territory. He couldn't like reach, get on. Well, then they didn't have social media, but he couldn't reach out to like if he had a friend or a doctor who could use his equipment, but it wasn't in his territory, he had to refer that to somebody else because he could not sell out of his territory. So just a lot of restrictions on like the traditional corporate type of thing. Whereas in network marketing, if you have a friend, if you like, I live in Indiana, somebody in California or Canada that wants to try my product, it's all open. So let's give you a little bit of details about network marketing. So it actually started in the 1930s and 1940s, and it really has evolved a lot since internet accessibility, social media, just a lot more flexibilities and a lot more options. So some of the biggest advantages, of course, is flexibility. Your time is your own. What you want or the time you have available is what you can put into building your own business. Because of this, it is a perfect for so many people, but especially someone like me who is either pro-retirement or in retirement. It gives me the flexibility to build my business. And one of the most important things for me is travel and see my grandchildren who live so far away from me. But it's a lot more like my husband was like, "Oh, maybe you should get a job so you can get out and meet some people." And then I thought, well, that's kind of a bummer because then I won't be able to take off the time that I want to travel to visit my son in Seattle Christmas or my son in North Carolina for Thanksgiving because I'd use up all of my personal time up. And I just love the flexibility. So there are so many of us now that are worrying about the term retirement. It's just because the way things are going recently. I mean, the inflation is just rocking the boat, making it so difficult to just go to the grocery store. Just I try not to go to the grocery store with my husband because he kind of just freaks out with the final cost of the bill, and it's continuously he'll see the amount and then he'll take the receipt, and as we're walking out the door, he's adding it up. And he goes, "Oh man, it's right. Much money." And it's like, I don't know how can we deal with retirement when inflation is so high and that I go to Costco now and I have to spend the same things. I mean, nothing against Costco, love Costco, but still, just the general inflation, things are costing more. It's like an extra $100 just to get the same things that I was getting before. So, you need to know where you are and, what would help you supplement your daily thing. I mean, would it be an extra $300 a month, an extra $800 a month, maybe an extra couple $1,000s a month? Would just make a huge difference for you and your retirement or what your goals are in your life at this time. So let's talk about a little bit. Now, one of the things about if you were starting a business, um, you have to think about what's the, of course, that would be a very logical question. And I find that network marketing, and for most companies, it's a very low investment. Unlike something like if you were to purchase a franchise or if you were to create a brick and mortar business where you had to order a large variety of items to sell. Most network businesses have a low startup fee. For example, the company that I work, it's $6 to start your business. And then you have the option if you want to use their CR is a way to organize the people that you come in contact with. But there's stocking of products because everybody buys their own personal items off the website. So I don't have like a box of eye cream sitting next here to me, waiting for somebody to come up Facebook and say, "Hey, do you have some eye cream? Can you send it to me?" And then having to go to the post office and mail it and da 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 da. So they just go to the website, place the order, and most of the products I find I get in 2 days. So it's just a very easy, and there's so little startup fee. So, what should you look at in selecting a company to work with? Well, the obvious is that you want to make sure it's a reputable company with reputable product. There was a kind of a really big span of issues, maybe about like 20 years ago, where it seems like every network marketing business was a scope as far as deciding if they're legal and if they fit all of the requirements and all of that. And I believe that everybody has figured that out. Everybody knows what the laws say and what the requirements are, and there's no more unreputable type. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's some kind of unreputable people out there starting something, but I think if you start with a company that has been going for a while, then it's very reputable and they know how to get everything down. I would suggest a company which the products need to be replenished so that you could create a recurring income. So when someone uses the product, then they've fallen in love with it and they must have it again. They must reorder it. And I find that like with mo- most of the most of the products that are in my company, the products last 2 to 4 months. So that somebody will more likely they'll order something about every 4 months or every 2 months, depending on what the product is and how dedicated they are to using it. But you should of these that have a one-time big sale um, or a big time span between sales. For example, a friend introduced me to a company that sold very nice mattress or pads that laid on your mattress and designed to help you sleep better, get deeper sleep, and all of that. And it was a good product, but how often will you replace a bed mattress? I mean, even if you fell in love with it and you decide, oh, I want one for my kids too. And but once you have a bed mattress pad, probably not going to buy anything again. So basically, it created like a one-time sale. So you would have to make a lot of sales, which kind of puts you in a position of almost like being a brick and mortar type of situation, where it's like, oh, I'm selling one thing, and then try and have to find more customers. In which, like I said, the company that I represent, eye cream is my favorite. And so once someone uses the eye cream all up, trust me, they're going to fall in love with it because it is amazing. And they're going to just automatically reorder it as they see they are getting to the bottom because they don't want to run out of that eye cream. You should select a company or a team from that company that offers valuable training and support, not only on how to reach out to potential customers and recruit, but also on the products itself. And I give kudos to my upline because like 4 or 5 up, they had these amazing Facebook group and just give continuous training. And it's just a wonderful group. And it's a wonderful upline to be part of. Then two other points that you want to make sure they do have is a good understanding compensation plan and the company is applying with legal regulations. So when it comes, you want to select a company that matches up in your interest and your goals. I so let me give you some things that went through my mind as far as selecting my company. Okay. So the company I represented actually started out selling their product in a very high-end department store, like the type of high-end department store that I would not go into. It's like I am not one to spend $300 on a pair of blue jeans. Okay, that's just not me. But that's where they started. That was like their clientele that they were going after because that's the quality of the product. And so the founders they wanted to reach more people who would appreciate the product, kind of a more white brand. So they switched from the high store in to network marketing system. So the product that I represent was actually created by two very high-end dermatologists that met and graduated from Stanford University. So they were top of their class. So they had great on the skin and what to do for it and what it needs. And so I think that what makes the product so wonderful. And I actually used the product for about 7, 8 years before deciding to offer it to friends. And that came about because people were actually asking me, "What are you getting? Your skin looks so wonderful." And in fact, just a couple weeks ago, I was with a cousin who we hadn't seen for a couple of years and went into the kitchen to help her. And she just directly looked at me and said, "What are you doing to your skin? Are you doing Botox?" And it was like, "No, no, no, it's my skincare product." And I said, "Hey, let me give you a sample. You'll love it." So, in fact, one of my favorite things to do is tell people that I'm 61 years old. Sometimes I can't believe it myself. Even my husband likes telling people my age. She's like, "Oh yeah, she's 61, but she looks 39," or something like that. And it's wonderful that I feel so confident in my skin because I do feel like it makes a difference. And so when people are actually looking at you and going, like it's like, "Hey, I just had a birthday. I'm 61." And everybody's like, "You're 61? Oh my gosh, what do you do? How do you stay so young looking?" And it's like, "Yeah, I got a great skincare product. I could give you a sample if you'd like." And it just makes it so easy to share. Sorry, I lost my spot in my little notes here. So, okay, let's review here. So, you want to make sure that you choose a company that connects with your values, a quality product that people will reorder. You want a recurring income and something that fits your lifestyle and what is important to you. Now, you yourself have to define what's your what. My what is that I want time flexibility. I want to work from anywhere from home. And I want a business that will give me extra income so that I can afford to go and see my precious, precious grandbabies. So I'm in Indiana. My grandkids are in Durham, North Carolina, Seattle, Washington, and Lahaina, Hawaii. So, and everybody always goes, "Oh, those are great places to travel to." Yeah, but they still take some money. So I want to be able to go and visit my grandchildren. And that is my major motivation of using the product for years and years and years, and knowing that people will come up to me and go, "Oh, what do you do with what do you do for your skin? You're 61? Holy smokes. What are you doing?" And finally saying, "Hey, here's a sample. Try." It just makes it easy. And there's so many other easy ways or processes, if you will, that you can put in place that are automatic. Like, for example, over the weekend, my Facebook page, nothing fancy about it, but it brought me in. I'm sending out 4 more samples today just because over the weekend people reached out to me and said, "What do you use? What do you do?" And I just said, "Hey, let me send you some samples. Here's a little skincare quiz. Take that so I know what product to send to you." So look for something that has a system. All right, so I think that covers what I have on my little point notes for today. Um, I asked your questions below. I will personally answer them. I did not open up the chat for this because I didn't know if anybody would be here live or if you'd be watching the recording. And I didn't want to get distracted from what I wanted to share with you in chats. So please, please list below any questions you have. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the challenges of network marketing, like reaching people and things like that. But also, if you would like to try a sample of my skin company, send me a direct message. I would love to send you a sample. All right, I hope you'll join me tomorrow. And I want to thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I don't think I had any technical issues that I was concerned about. And hey, enjoy your evening. I planned ahead so I have my dinner in the crock pot so my husband would not be running in and going, "When's dinner? When's dinner?" I really appreciate your time, and I hope this brought you some insights. Bye.